All right, guys, so now we're going to work on some more of the form input components. Okay, if we look in our common folder, we have a text field group, which is used for things like text inputs, email inputs, password inputs, things like that. And if we look at it, it takes all these properties, and it has the input, it has the info and the error block down here. So we're going to create some more form fields, which are going to be pretty similar to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one for a text area. So I'm going to copy all this, and we're going to create another file in the common folder called text. And instead of text field group, it's going to be text area field group.js. Okay, and we'll go ahead and paste this in, and we're just going to change it to text area field group. And let's take a look at the properties. Now, we know with the text area we don't need a type, right? Because types are for inputs. So we can get rid of that. We can also get rid of it right here, type. Down here, we can get rid of type here in the prop types. We can get rid of it we actually don't need default props anymore because that's the only one we had was type. So we can get rid of that. Let's make sure we change this to text area field group. Okay, let's take a look at this a little bit more. Let's see, name placeholder value. We're not going to need a label. We can get rid of that. And we don't need disabled. Get rid of that. And we can keep the rest. Okay, so we'll get rid of disabled here. And let's see, I think that's it. And then down here we'll get rid of disabled in the prop types. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So now for the markup, it's going to be a little different because we don't want an input anymore. We want a text area. So let's say text area. And of course, text areas need to have an ending tag. So, well, actually in React they don't. So we'll just leave it as is. Let's see. So this will be the same placeholder, name, value on change. This stuff can be the exact same, the info and the error. So I think we're good as far as that. So not too many changes here. So let's go ahead and save that. All right, the next one we're going to create is going to be for the select list. Okay, so we're going to create a new file in common called select list group.js. All right, and then what I'm going to do is just copy. Let's see. You know what we'll do is we'll copy what we just did, the text area field group, and paste that in the select list group. And let's change this to select list group. It's going to have a name, placeholder, value, error, info, on change. Now we're also going to need options. We're going to pass, what we'll do is we'll pass an array of options into our select list group component. Okay, let's be sure to change it down here to select list group. And then let's see, for the prop types, oh, I didn't change that in the text area field group. We need to make sure we do that. So change that to text area field group. All right, and then here we'll change this to select list group. And prop types, you have name, placeholder. Do we need value? Yeah, we'll leave value. Info, error, on change, and then we just need options. So options is going to be prop types dot array dot is required. All right, now for the markup, this is going to change quite a bit. First thing we need to do is we need to take the options that are passed in, and we need to basically loop through them. We're going to map through them, and we're going to create option tags. Okay, so just like we would with a select list. So we're going to go right above, let's see, we're going to go right above the return, and let's say const select options we're going to set it to the options that are passed in, and then we're going to map through those. Okay, so when we map through those, we're going to say for each one we'll call it option, and then we want to render an option tag. It's going to have a key which we're going to set to, I'm going to set it to the option.label. All right, and then the value is going to be sent to the option.value. It's going to be an array of objects that'll have a label and a value. All right, so that is the opening option tag. So then we need a closing one. And then inside here, we want the option label. Just like that. So now we can go down here. We still want a form group. We want to change this to select. Okay, let's see, class name, we can keep that. We don't need a placeholder, so we'll get rid of that. We can actually get rid of that here and here as well. So we'll get rid of that. Then we have name, value, on change, and then we need to, this select tag needs to have an ending tag. So we want to get rid of this slash right here, and then put another, or put our ending select like that. All right, and inside here is going to be the options. So remember, that's stored in a variable called select options. And then for the info and error, we can keep that the same. That's not going to change. And I think that should do it. All right, so select list group, good. Name, value, yeah, so that should do it. So let's save this. Good. Now we have one more field type of component, and that's going to be called input group. This is going to be the inputs that have like the social media icons and stuff like that. So inside common, we're going to create a new file, and we're going to call it input group.js. And let's copy from, we'll just copy from text area field again, and we'll paste that in. And let's see, so we're going to change the name to input group. Make sure we change it on the prop types as well. Input group. And why is that giving me, whoops. And we want to change it here as well. And as far as properties, we'll have name, placeholder, value, error. Now we're also going to want icon, okay, because it's going to take in an icon. And then we also want a type because it is an input. And let's see, we don't need info. None of them are going to have info, so we can actually get rid of that. And then we do want the on change. So that should be good. And then for the prop types, so name, placeholder, value, we don't need info. Let's actually change this one to icon. So icon is going to be a string. We won't say it's required. We have error. We also going to need type. So type will be prop types dot string dot is required, and then on change. All right, and let's put our default props back. We probably should have copied the text field input instead of the text area, but that's fine. We'll just rewrite it here. So default props, and we'll have type, which will be a text type by default. All right, so now let's work on the actual markup. So it's going to be a little different than what we have here. I think the best thing to do here is probably to just replace. We'll just go ahead and change things. So it's going to be input dash group. We're going to do an MB dash 3, so margin bottom 3. All right, now inside here we're going to want a div with the class of input dash group dash prepend. This is just Bootstrap stuff. This is where the icon's going to go. It's going to be wrapped in a span with the class of input-group-text, like that. And then we'll put the icon. So it'll be an I tag with the class of whatever the icon is passed in. So I'm actually going to just go I class name equals whatever icon is passed in, like that. All right, and then underneath that, we obviously don't want a text area. This is going to be an input. So the class name thing, this can stay the same. Placeholder, name, value on change. So that's all going to be the same. Actually, we don't need to change anything there. I'm going to take away the info. We're not going to have any infos on these. And then error can stay the way it is. And then we should be good. All right, so let's save that. So now that we have all of our form components or input components, in the next video we're going to go back to create profile, and we're going to go ahead and insert these. Actually, we can bring them all in now, so we'll just go ahead and copy down 3 more, and we're going to have text area field group. Okay, text area field group. What else? Input group. And the other one was what? Select list group. And save. Make sure we have no errors. It's just saying that some of these are defined but never used, but we're going to use them, so don't worry about that. Let's see, map state to props. That we should have passed in right here where it says null, so let's do that. Okay, so in the next video we'll go ahead and we'll take these components that we just brought in and we'll create our fields.